people, I'm back with one of my videos and I have to narrate this incident to you which happened yesterday. I was returning from a day which was full of activities. I had done a training in the afternoon, then I did a voiceover, then I met a friend for coffee, and then as I was coming home after some marketing of some groceries, I was in my lane and I was thinking that I need to call up my son, and I looked down at the phone which was placed on the seat next to me, and that fraction of a second that I took to look at my phone, that is when that incident occurred. I went and rammed against a bike which was parked. Of course, it was parked a little badly. It was parked right on top of the road, and I went and rammed against it. Thankfully, the speed of my car was just 20. There was no major fatalities. There was nothing which was damaged, except my car had lots of scratches. Nothing happened to the driver of the owner of the bike or the bike. Nothing happened to him, but he was going off the handle and he hit on my glass, of my car glass, and he said, "Get down out of the car right now, don't you dare try to run away." And I'm somebody who never runs away from any situation. I have been taught by my mother to be brave and to face any situation head on. So I got down from my car and I asked him to cool down, and I said, "It's my fault. I happened to look at the phone for 1 second and I accidentally hit your bike. I did not do it deliberately." I mean, nobody does an accident deliberately, right? Nobody goes and says, "Okay, today I'm going to do an accident." Nobody does that. But I was apologetic. I told him that it's my fault, and I'm not even faulty 100%, but I'm faulty. I'm at fault 120% of the time that I did this thing, like looking down at my phone. And and he was shouting at the top of his voice, and I asked him to cool down. I said, "Cool down, it's okay. Nothing major has happened, hopefully. Has anything happened to your bike?" And he said, "No, nothing's happened to my bike, but maybe something has happened to your car." And I said, "That's okay. If anything's happened to my car, I can handle that. But I hope nothing's happened to you and the bike." And he said, "No, nothing's happened to me and the bike." And then we got talking, and we somehow exchanged pleasantries. And then he was the one who actually fixed up something that had come up from my car. So we went home, of course, shaken. Both of us were very shaken, but we went home unscathed. So that was the incident, and that brings me to the topic of what I'm about to tell today. That is on being mindful, being in the moment. And most of the time, I have noticed that sometimes, even when I am doing something, I'm doing an activity, or I'm on stage, or I am reading, or I'm meditating, my mind tends to drift off. And I think it's very natural for that kind of a thing to happen, because we are very busy people and we tend to think 120 other things. Even when we are sleeping, we find that our mind is a complete it's kind of a war zone where there's so many voices speaking. Someone speaking, I mean, someone means that me, speaking about how the day went, and then I haven't done something, I haven't written something, I haven't submitted something. All these kind of things keep going around in the head, and that is when we tend to drift off. Even when we are talking to somebody, we tend to drift off into our thought process. And that is a very natural thing to happen. I have heard some of my friends even saying that when they are meditating, they cannot be in the moment, they cannot concentrate, they cannot focus where they have been asked to focus. Like in guided meditation, we are asked to focus in our third eye region here. Many a times it happens that people just cannot concentrate because they are not in the moment. And yesterday, that incident which happened to me happened because I was not in the moment. If I was driving, I should have been driving with full concentration on the road. And I mean, driving is not it's not a playground. It's not a child's play, and it's not supposed to be taken as if I'm playing football or I'm having a leisurely time or something like that. It has to be a great piece of concentration that I need to give when I'm driving. and I must be driving very carefully, because these days there are a lot of rash driving which happens on the road, and I need to take care that I don't get into the way of these rash drivers, because if they overtake or they get onto your track, they might tend to put on the brakes, and that's when things might go wrong. So I have to be mindful. I cannot be looking down at my phone, or I cannot be thinking of something else apart from driving. And if that kind of a thing happens, yesterday that man was telling me that, you know, everything that happens can happen just in a fraction of a second, and accidents and fatalities and deaths can happen in just a fraction of a second. So you've got to be very careful, and I'm sure he's very right about that. And I totally agree with him that it was my mistake that I looked down at the phone, and I shouldn't have. You know, all these things that we do on inside our car where we are attending phone calls. Many a times we've seen the government saying don't use your phone when you are driving, but you know, people tend to do that. You can be, if you absolutely need to be on your phone when you're driving, why don't you have your wireless, your hands-free wireless paraphernalia, your equipments, which can give you freedom of speaking with whoever you want to while you're on the move. But again, speaking with one hand, changing gears, there's so many activities inside a car, and if we are not mindful, if we are not in the moment, then a lot of things can happen. There are so many accidents, and there are so many lives, precious lives, which are taken away because of these accidents. So, and many times we hear in the news that this person was either on the phone or using something or doing something which is not supposed to be done while driving. So I would like to request all of you, because I had that incident yesterday, let this be a lesson for all of you. Let this be a kind of a message for all of you, where I am requesting you not to use your phone while you are driving. And if you have to do that, be on hands-free. If you want to, and nowadays there are a lot of smart cars where you can attach your phone to the speaker, and you can speak inside the car. So you can do that as well. But try and avoid using the phone as much as possible inside the car while you're driving, because apart from you can put the risk of you can put at risk a lot of other people's lives as well, like the person you've hit. Like yesterday, if I had hit that person really hard, just because my speed was like around 20 kilometers per hour, so nothing happened really. But then if it was at 50 or 60 or something like that, then maybe I would have been somewhere else right now, and that man would have been in hospital or maybe somewhere else. So it's very, very dangerous not to be in the moment while you're driving. I have seen a lot of people on the phones even now, and that is kind of scary. I have started using my hands-free, and so I wasn't on the phone yesterday. It was only the thought that I needed to call up my son, and that is one reason why I made that mistake of looking down at my phone and thinking that I should make a call, and that fraction of a second did it. So once again, I would like to request you not to be distracted while you're driving, because if you have people with you in the passenger seats or in sitting behind you, you might put them at risk as well if you are doing something which is not supposed to be done on the roads, on the streets. So my request, my dear friends, be mindful, be in the moment, and live life first class. That is my request. And of course, if you like my video in YouTube, please do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you get regular updates from me. And if you like what you see, do share this video with your friends. And for now, I'm going to say bye, and I'm going to come back with more videos. See you then. Love you. Stay safe.